everyone, welcome back to another episode of Weather and Autism.
Hi everybody, as you can see, we're out and about today. We're in the car, and I thought I'd take you all along. As you know, when you're raising a child with autism, life doesn't stop for you, so you still have to go and get things done. And so I'm still glad that you're with us today. Pardon me as I look away quite often. Of course, I have to keep my eyes on the road, but whenever I'm at a stop sign or a stoplight, I'll try to make eye contact. It's good to be with you today. And what we want to talk about today is stress. We want to talk about stress. And how do we, as moms of autistic children, deal with stress? It's a very critical thing for us because it indeed is a very stressful thing to raise a child with autism and with all that goes along with that. You agree?
Yes.
Yes, he agrees. So it's good to have Jordan with me today. He seems to be a little enamored by the camera. I told him to be natural and do what he would normally do in the car. He certainly wouldn't be staring at the camera while we're in the car. But so if you have your device with you, you can go ahead and play with it. And I'll just be talking, okay? But you feel free to chime in anytime you want. Is that all right? Is that all right, buddy?
Yes.
Okay, good. So, want to discuss stress today because the statistics are staggering as to the amount of stress, the load of stress that a parent who's raising a child with special needs carries. And any medical professional will tell you that stress is the number one cause of sickness and disease in any society, especially in the American one. And so it's a big deal. And so we, as parents, as moms of children with autism, want to know how to handle stress in a productive way. We are picking up some food from our local fast food restaurant while we're out and about. Trying to get away from fast food. It's hard to. My son said yes, he's the amen corner today. As he loves to eat, Mama does too. But while we're here waiting for our food, I want to know, and I want to ask you a question. How do you handle stress?
No! 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 No!
What? No.
No!
No. No, no. No, 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 no.
Last time we were together, we talked about the importance of having a support system in your life, because that helps to reduce some of the stress. He's my amen corner today. When you're in a situation and you're constantly dealing with it, and there's no escape for you, it could be a very hard thing. And so having a support system, of course, is one of the main things that can help us alleviate stress in our lives. Being able to get away for a few hours to go to the grocery store or to go to the gym, if you can do something like that, or just go for a walk. Those things may seem small, but they're very critical things in bringing balance to your life. And that's what a lot of us lack, is that balance. Our whole life is focused in our children, especially the child that has special needs. I was talking to someone the other day, a very close relative of mine, who grew up in a home with a sibling that had special needs, was mentally retarded. And this person talked about how they intentionally acted out, I mean in a horrible way, to get the attention of their parent, because all the focus of that parent was on the child with special needs. And that parent did the best that they could, trying to meet the needs, the special needs of this child. But at the same time, they were neglecting the needs of their other children. And sometimes that happens. We're totally vested and invested in our children that we really don't take care of ourselves. And we can find that our health is waning. We're sick and diseased in our body because, we definitely put ourselves on the back burner. And one of the things I'm learning, I've had to learn and I'm learning, is that it's so important to take care of yourself. Because if you don't take care of yourself, what good are you going to be to that child? If you're not going to be around to be able to take care of them, then that presents a whole other set of concerns. Who's going to take care of my child when I'm gone? Or if I'm sick in my body and I'm not mobile and I can't do certain things, who's going to take care of my child? So we have to be at optimum health, if possible, to be able to care for our children. And that's so hard. It's hard to find time to exercise and eat right and get away for those times of respite. But we have to make it a priority and see it as something that we're not only doing for us, but we're doing for our children. And so even when we can't do those things, get away, we have to learn how to productively deal with stress in our lives, those stressors when they come into our lives.
In a recent study into the stress levels of mothers raising a child on the autism spectrum, the results were truly astounding. Many mothers are truly struggling and are showing stress levels that are as high as those suffering from severe post-traumatic stress disorder. The study conducted by the University of Wisconsin showed that mums raising children on the autism spectrum experience more stressful events and have less time for themselves compared to the average mother. They spend at least 2 hours more each day caregiving than mothers of neurotypical children. They are also twice as likely to be tired and 3 times as likely to have experienced an extremely stressful event. What's more, mothers raising a child on the autism spectrum were interrupted at work 1 out of every 4 days compared to less than 1 in 10 days for other mothers. We continue to live with stress and challenge, often putting ourselves last and to the detriment of our own health. If somebody asks how we are, we often don't tell the truth. Instead, we stoically say we're fine. I think sometimes because if we started to say how we truly felt, we would never ever stop. But we are the cornerstones of the family, and our stress and emotional levels can truly impact on the entire family. Our children on the autism spectrum are extremely sensitive to emotion and will feel stress and emotion in the house before anybody else does. If you are angry or stressed, sad or overwhelmed, your child will feel that emotion. And it's the reason many children have meltdowns or throw tantrums right at that time when you just can't deal with it. As mothers of children on the autism spectrum, we of all people especially need to be caring for ourselves, doing that something that makes our hearts sing and to help us deal with our stress levels. It's imperative that we put ourselves first, find the joy in life, and what's more, to be totally honest and upfront. We do not need to be superheroes.
Everybody has stress. Life is filled with so many challenges and struggles that everyone deals with stress. And those of us who are raising children with special needs, everything is compounded because we have the normal stresses everyone else has, and then the stress of raising this child. And I learned that the greatest way to deal with stress, anxiety, is to trust in the Lord. trust in God. I have made it no secret that, the source of my strength is my relationship with God. And God gives some very specific instructions on how we are to deal with stress.
For him, have you ever gotten news that shook you to your core?
Yes.
I'm talking about something that just blindsided you. You didn't expect it. You never saw it coming. One moment, your entire world is just flipped upside down, and it feels like it will never be the same again.
Yes.
And when you get this news, your first reaction is surprise or shock even. Maybe even denial. Oh, no, that cannot possibly be true. But know this, the shock is going to wear off. And when the shock wear off, watch out, because here comes the mental and emotional tsunami. And if you're not careful and if you don't know how to deal with it, that's why a lot of people find themselves in trouble. What do you do when you weighed down mentally and emotionally? What do you do? What do you turn to? See, because that's when a lot of people start turning to all kinds of vices.
Yes, talk about it.
Because they're carrying this thing, and they turn to drugs, and they turn to alcohol. Some people turn to sex. Some people turn to pornography. Some people abuse antidepressants. Do you realize they said the rate of antidepressant use rose 400% in 3 years?
My God.
Not 40, 400%. Why? Because people are carrying burdens that they don't know what to do with. And here it is. He says, I'm going to leave my problems in the hands of the one who can deliver me.
Amen.
And can I tell you, it worked. That's a strong piece of advice. And David says, you. He says, you give your burden to God and he will take care of you. Amen. He says he will not permit the godly to slip and fall. But I like what the NIV says. The NIV says, cast your cares on the Lord and he will sustain you. Yeah. He will never suffer or allow the righteous to be moved. But here's what really has me so excited. That word cast in Hebrew is called hashelek, and it means to throw or to pitch. It has a violent connotation to it. So David is saying, listen, don't just give it to God. No, David says, take that sucker and throw it. Fling it at him. Amen, somebody. That's exactly what it means. It means to throw with force. And guess what? You can throw it back to me. We're going to play ball in church this morning. Amen. And guess what? If you study that Hebrew word, what I found fascinating is that when it says to cast your cares upon him, Brother Life, it was not a suggestion, it was a command.
Amen.
They said it was literally an order. God is ordering you to throw your cares and your burdens upon him.
This is all true. God will carry your burdens if you give it to him. That doesn't mean you'll have a life that is problem-free. That doesn't exist. But it does guarantee that you'll have someone there that will be with you always, that will help you carry your worries and your problems and your issues. Whatever stress you're dealing with in your life, I can tell you that the God that I serve is big enough to carry all of that and more, and to see you through to victory. So I want to encourage you, if you need prayer, please don't hesitate to reach out. I'll be glad to pray for you. Leave your information in the comment section of this video, or also reach out to me via email. weatheringautism2@gmail.com. And I'll be glad to converse with you, or if you're not interested in that and all you want is prayer, I'll be glad to do that as well. This is why this channel exists, to be a support to you and to share and give you encouragement and let you know that there's hope even in the midst of this storm of autism. And so until next time, God bless you. Thank you so much again for tuning in.
Bye.